And so let's start with Marcus Aurelius. The quote, it's several sentences long, a paragraph, whatever it is. Marcus Aurelius is talking about, all the things that we want to read, all the things that we intend to do, the sort of um, the plans that we're making, et cetera. And he's really talking about the fact that we have all those things. We have that stack of books. We have the podcast, the things saved, the tabs saved, all those things that we intend to go back to. And the problem is we're probably not going to. I identify with that. Good morning, Nicole. There are a lot of things that I have saved, that I have stacked up, that I intend to go back to, and I'm not going to make it. Whether today's the last day or I live another, 40 years or something, there are a lot of things that I'm just not going to make it back to. And my focus on getting back to, or my focus on, I need to do this before I can do this, etc. That's going to keep me from taking action. And ultimately, that's the key. We have to take action. We have to do the things that we need to do. And the title of the for today in the Daily Stoic is something about something like rescuing yourself. You have to do the work, right? You have to take this on. No one else is going to do it for you. And I think that's a really good reminder as we intend to live our best lives, as we intend to do all of these things. Ultimately, you can. I've got a great collection. I don't really buy that many physical books because I consume. I'm an audio consumer, so I listen to books. But I buy books that I think are good books or important books, and I've got a great stack of really good, important books. And none of those matter if I don't take the advice, if I don't put the things in action, if I don't live for whatever time I have, right? And so I think that's a great reminder from Marcus Aurelius. And I do think it was a great way to close out the year of the Daily Stoic Meditations is, all right, it's time, right? It is time for us to do the things that we need to do in order to grow. If growth is the goal, it's time for us to do it. The Nicole and John both are used to hearing me talk about what I've been calling Jeff's 5 steps to growth. But we've added some predendums to that over time. So I think next year we need to rebrand it. I don't know if it's 7 or 8, but in order to grow, you have to be curious enough about something, whatever it is, that you're willing to go through what it takes to grow, to go through what it takes to make change. So curiosity is the first. And then you have to develop the belief that you can do this, that you can grow, that you can make change. So belief is the second. And then you have to make a decision. Are you going to do what it takes or not? So decision is the third. And then the fourth, which ironically or originally was the first step of growth, you have to take action, right? And that is right where Marcus Aurelius is in this quote from Meditations. I think it was Meditations 3.14. Taking action is right where he is in that quote. We have to do the things. And then after action and the steps to growth, we have to do those actions consistently until it becomes part of our regular motion. And this is where the James Clear post comes in about consistency. Right? If we can't develop consistency, if we take action once, it never becomes part of our regular motion. We have to take action consistently enough that it becomes part of our regular motion. So if four was action, five is motion. And then when we keep that motion up, it turns into momentum, which is six. And momentum drives change, which is seven. And then change leads to growth. So those are the steps of growth. And I think, I don't know if it officially becomes one of the steps or not, but I think there's also the reality is that we have to lean into discomfort. So discomfort comes somewhere in there. Maybe it's between action and growth. Or action and motion. I'm not 100% sure, but if we're not getting uncomfortable, then we're not ever going to grow. So that's a quick tangent or detour down the down the lane of the steps of growth. And so, like I said, the Marcus Aurelius quote is squarely in the realm of taking action. The James Clear quote, which it's a longer discourse on consistency. And by the way, I posted these a little while ago on Substack, as a note. Just so these are the things I want to talk about today. So the full quotes are actually there, but adaptability. The James Clear quote closes with, adaptability is the key to consistency. We are not machines. I am not. As I spent a lot of years thinking and acting like I was a machine. Get up at this time. Just boom, 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 boom. And I look at. I've been reflecting on this some the last few weeks with my kids being home, and I look at my daughter and the way that she is, the way that she does things, her tenacity. This kid is tough. I used to say this when she was younger. I've got now a former college athlete kid is a former college athlete, that played sports all the way through his growing up. Tough kid, strong kid, talented kid, all those things. She's tougher. I used to say when she was young, I still think this. I'm not worried about her. She is, there are very few people that would have the ability to mess with her. She's mentally strong. She's physically strong. And I look at her today and I go, she pushes too hard. She's got a million things. She's a grinder. All these things. And I go, yep, she got it honest. I see in her now what she witnessed growing up in me. I think I said that wrong, but we're not machines. We're not built for precise consistency. There are cycles in ourselves, in the natural world, in the universe, etc. And, looking back or looking forward, I think when we start to fail, when we start to fall apart, when we start to struggle, that's when we start to forget about and ignore those realities. So how do you show up and take action, according to Marcus Aurelius, and keep it consistent, according to James Clear, so that it becomes part of our regular motion? I think it's flexibility. I think it's giving ourselves grace. I think it's showing up and saying, okay, what have I got today? What can I give to this today? And, John and Nicole hear this on Java with Jeff sometimes. There are days when we wake up where we don't have a lot in the tank. Days when we wake up and the only thing we have to give, if we're focused on that consistency, if we're focused on, okay, how do I keep this going? How do I keep my motion going? How do I keep building momentum? The only thing I have to give today is the smallest of baby steps, right? Sometimes that's reality. Those are the most important steps. Those tiny little baby steps where that is the only thing that you have left. That's the most important step. Because at that point, it's really easy to say, I don't have it. I got nothing. I got nothing in the tank. I just had this little baby step, and it's not worth it, right? It's such a small step. And ironically, that's the step that's worth it. That's the most important one because it keeps us from falling off. And that's not to discount rest. It's not to discount, any of those things, but it's being able to adapt when, hey, normally, I don't know what a good example is. Normally I run 10 miles. If all you got today is a mile, give it the mile. Maybe you get back to 10 tomorrow. I was just texting a little while ago. It's running a little bit late for this morning. Couple of squirrels trying to get some stuff done for I've got to teach next Tuesday. And it's not like this is a mystery. The academic calendar was published a long time ago, but sort of the reality of, oh shoot, I got to get this stuff done. So a couple squirrels trying to get stuff done, wrapped up in preparation for first day of class with my graduate students next week, and also texting with a friend. I mentioned at the beginning I'm having people over tonight for New Year's, so come on over, 7:30. And finally heard back from a friend that I had invited, and she's been down with the flu, which is terrible. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe February is. It's 2 years now that I had influenza A. That rocked me, right? That was really, really hard. I thought at times it's like, yeah, I might be in trouble here. But, I think about times like that or conditions like that, or like we're so conditioned to go, 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 go. And I'm not saying that slowing down or resting or anything is going to help us avoid the flu necessarily or anything like that. But we get conditioned to the go, 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 go. And then all of a sudden something like the flu hits us and we're out of the game. And then what? Rather than, basically pretending that we are machines and that we can keep going all the time, we have to find some way to be flexible and adaptable and say, okay, flu sucks. This has got me down. It's going to probably have me down for a while. What am I going to do with this? Yesterday, the one of the questions that we talked about was, what is this teaching me? This might seem kind of funny to ask. What can the flu teach me? Or any kind of thing that takes me out of the game for a while. But what can it teach me? about being still, about resting, about giving myself the ability to take a break. So many things. What can it teach me about consistency? Is consistency showing up and doing the same thing over and over every day? I don't know. I mentioned this on Java with Jeff this morning when I'm walking. And I'm always amazed at the beauty of this neighborhood that I live in. All these trees and everything, and they're all bare. You can see there's one. They're all bare right now. Our temperature Sunday into morning dropped 50 degrees in like 16 hours. These trees are ready for it, right? They don't look the same as they did 6 months ago. They don't look the same as they did a few months ago, a couple of months ago. They go through these cycles consistently. They show up consistently year after year in the same cycle. Day in and day out. They do what it takes to survive. They do what it takes to grow. I think we should learn from that. Consistency doesn't look the same every day. We know it's important. We have to take action. We have to do the things that we need to do in order to grow. And if you read down through the commentary on that Marcus Aurelius quote in the Daily Stoic, one of the things it says is no one's showing up to help you. No one's showing up to do it for you. And so we have to remember that. Right? We have to show up and do the work. We have to do it consistently. But that doesn't mean it's the same every single day. It doesn't mean that we don't take breaks. It doesn't mean that we don't rest. It doesn't mean that we don't pivot or adjust. In fact, it means that we pivot, that we adjust, that we take care of ourselves, and that we pay attention to the natural cycles of ourselves, of our economy, maybe of our universe. So I have made it through my natural cycle over to the coffee shop now. Try not to get by a car. People rushing for their fancy caffeinated drinks. I'm going to go in and have my espresso. So, congratulations. It's New Year's Eve. You made it all the way through 2025. I may not be back here until Monday the 5th, but I'll be back. And I'll invite you to walk with me then. So have a happy and safe New Year's Eve. A great start to your new year. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks for walking with me.